Exactly. Even that interval 20-minute session, you have people slide tackling and full body hit.
That was a fun.
Generally, at home, believe it or not, I actually speak in Sinhala quite a bit. But no, my English speaking came from school because I'd spend most of my time in school from when I was small. Nikang in the bed. Same as you, no? That's why we're here on a Sunday morning doing a podcast.
Exactly. Because you have nothing. We need to be doing something.
Especially in Interact, to grow in the, what do you call it, community. You start learning the value of networking at a very young age when you join something like Interact. And obviously Interact is a international community under the Rotary district and all of that. So a lot of it happens in English. Well, actually, all of it happens in English. During my A-levels, you called me and you were like, Devinda, can you come and debate in the middle of papers? Because we're in the same house. Yeah. And then I returned the paper. Yeah. When I was out of school, I called you and you were doing your inter-house drama. Can you come and act? I'd say the biggest thing there was, it wasn't that I spoke English, it was that I spoke confidently. So while maybe like my drama background taught me the language and confidence, Interact also did the same. And I think that's an important thing to take away from that.
So the thing is, what I really liked though, was that you all were very hands off when it came to management. In terms of you let us do our thing, you trusted us with whatever responsibility you gave us, and you expected us to do our job well. You were always known for being a good speaker, right, in school. And actually now I was in school from grade 1 onwards, right, and I have been to many assemblies, I have heard a lot of people speak. But the speech you gave on the day you were leaving is still something I remember. I'm not even joking. Because I quote it in some of my classes. All right, so let's move into law faculty, right? You finished A-levels, you got 3 A's, then you went into Colombo University, right? How was the experience like there at Colombo University?
I think that another small distinction there is that was never the plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this getting 3 years it just happened.
Okay.
I actually, straight after, I didn't have, like, I told a teacher, say you should do this, you should do law, all of that. But I never thought I'm going to do law. My father's an architect. We did A-levels in August. October, I was in architecture school.
No way.
Yeah, the CSA here is a private architecture school in Borella. They enrolled me there. I did 1 full term there, but it's really expensive, private uni. I did 1 term there. And then December, I think like 2 days after Christmas or something, results came. And we accessed the website, but you know, the website is down. Because everyone is trying to check that, the website is down. Then someone told you can text this thing to someone and get the results. Got the results. I generally thought it was wrong.
That's surprising. You didn't expect to get 3 A's?
No, because Mashan, I never even passed English Lit till A-levels. I never finished the paper. Not passed. I never finished the paper. I always ran out of time. A-levels was the first time I finished my lit paper. I didn't know this, but Amma had gone and spoken to my tuition teacher before and said, hey, should we switch him to econ or something because he's getting really bad marks. I only had like A's for media, like 90s. Okay, I got 99 once also. Logic was tough. Logic, I had C's and B's, and lit, I had C's and S's. But I took the time before. The reason for lit was I used to run out of time a lot because it was very difficult for me to remember quotations. I don't have a very good memory. I work off of understanding things and then applying it my own way. That's a little difficult with lit. Very good at interpretation, but you need to support it with evidence. That was a bit of a missing link for me. So A-level prep was basically, okay, now I know media, so I'm not going to study that. I'm going to spend most of my time studying quotations. And then only I got those results. And then, then got into faculty. And that was a bit of a culture shock.
Getting into Colombo Uni?
Getting into Colombo Uni.
Okay.
It was also a very humbling experience because...
Why do you say it was a culture shock?
At Peters from grade 1, I was in English medium. So my friends were also that same type of people. And the activities I did was English lit, theatre, predominantly English background. And I think that gives you a good idea of what the international community is like. When I went into faculty, I understood that I lived in a bubble in Colombo in Sri Lanka. And that bubble popped. And then I realized, okay, I've gotten all of these tools to go global. But I don't have the tools to live in the environment I'm in right now. And that was essentially the culture shock. And I realized, you get that saying, you know, would you rather be a big fish in a small pond
Or a small fish in a big pond.
in big pond or ocean or whatever? I think a component that you don't realize there is the fish doesn't get to pick the pond or the ocean. The fish has to adapt to where he is. Whatever said and done, we are in a pond in Sri Lanka. We can't be in the pond and adapt to the ocean. We're not going to thrive. I realized that when I got into uni. There was one specific incident. Like you said, I can I'm going to say this, but I can speak English well. And I was very proud of it. I was in uni, I was in my second year, I think, when the Aragalaya happened. And one of my batchmates gave an interview at the Aragalaya to a news station that went a little viral on social media in Sinhala. He spoke beautifully. And it made me feel so terrible that I can't speak like that in Sinhala. Because I know there are a billion plus people who can speak better than me in English. Okay? Sinhala is a dying language. This guy is a gem. There are so many like me. He spoke, I know I can, what he did in Sinhala, I can do in English in my sleep. I can't do it in Sinhala. And I think I realized then, because of the country we're in, I need to develop that side as well.
Do you think you were successful in that journey?
Definitely not to that extent, but I had realistic goals. I knew I won't get there, but I focused a little more on developing that side. I was never someone who, in school also, because I'm English medium, only hang out with English medium kids. No, you know that. I hang out with everyone. In faculty also, so in faculty actually, I missed my second and third years because of COVID and the economic crisis. When I came back to fourth year, once again, like my last few years in school, I never went for lectures. I would only go to faculty for football practice. And I was captain then. So then I had a job of communicating to the team. And this is actually something I want to talk about on the podcast. That was a very tough time because from my first year to fourth year, first year we played, then 2 years nothing, now we're in my fourth year. I am the only player in the whole university who has played football for university before, now in my fourth year. I have no team. Okay?
So there was no one else in your batch?
So in my batch, in my first year, there was only me and one other boy who made it to the team. That boy was a better player than me.
Yeah.
I was the third goalkeeper in the team. You don't need a third goalkeeper, Masa. Okay? I was just there because I went for all the practices. They felt bad.
Yeah.
This other boy was in the starting 11. He was from Dimasan, a very good football player. I think he did science or something. Science has this thing called you need to get selected to do your fourth year. I can't remember if he didn't get selected or he got selected and chose to double down on studies or something like that. So he didn't come to play. So I was the only guy. So we practiced for a little in my second year. There were a couple of guys who came, but they never played for uni. So those two and me, we built a team from scratch. And that was where I think that year I spoke in Sinhala more than I have my whole life. And that was where I realized also that I think in English and I have to convert everything I say. Because like you said, like I will speak to motivate a team and do all of that. I don't know the effectiveness of it, but I will do it. And the same things I would say in English, I said in Sinhala to these boys because they don't know what it's like to play for uni. I have to put that feeling in them through words. Words that come to me in English. At the end of the year, I think based on the feedback I got from them, I was successful in what I wanted to do. But definitely not to the extent that my friend who spoke at the Aragale was.
Was knowing how to speak English well useful to you to navigate the faculty? Because obviously the content is being taught in English, yes. And
So
obviously-
that's actually a good point, because it was helpful to navigate, because when I was in faculty, you get your English medium, Sinhala medium, Tamil medium. But now, if I'm not mistaken, everything is in English. They got rid of the other faculties. I don't know why they did that. Because this comes back to the issue of us being a multilingual country. There is a the system is bipolar. I can't say it any other way. You know how we got here in the 70s or 80s? SWRD decided.
Sinhala only Act.
Yes.
Correct,
That took us back so many paces.
Correct.
Because I think inherently we are a smart race. Okay. We also adapt very well. We were doing very well up until that point. This removed us from the world. And then, okay, it's like this. If you decided to do that, okay, stick to it, like Japan is doing. Okay, Japan closed themselves off, China closed themselves off, and they built it. We took ourselves off. Few years later, we tried to plug back in. It's the same thing that we did with Port City. Government changed, stopped the project. Government changed again, started the project. If we never stopped the project, we essentially, economists can comment on this better than me, but we wouldn't have that dollar crisis that bad. Governments are a little bipolar with their policies. And that has unfortunately trickled down and affected students the most. Because now we are in faculty, okay? Now let's take this batch that's in faculty now, okay? They'll learn everything in English. They'll go to law college. I think there's conversation. Anyway, college, everything happens in English. Well, I studied in English. No, I think there was a Sinhala paper also. College also, there's conversation of making everything English. Now, let's say this works out and they do everything in English in faculty, everything in English in college. Then you go to work. Okay, you don't go the private way like me. You go to AG's department. Okay, or you go and work for a criminal defense lawyer. You're doing litigation somehow. If you're doing criminal, most of your work will be done in magistrate courts. If you're doing civil, it will be done in district courts. Majority of magistrate courts and district courts function in Sinhala. If you go to the east or the north, it functions in Tamil. Now you've learned everything in English. What are you going to go here and do? Okay. Again, now let's say they didn't do that. They kept faculty 3 languages. They kept college 3 languages. You do your respective languages. The ones who studied in English like me can go and do corporate. Ones who studied Sinhala can practice in the lower courts here. Ones who did Tamil can go there and practice in the lower courts. As a litigator, I don't think aspiration-wise you don't want to stay there. No? You want to go to the High Court, the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Again, when you go to the Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, it's in English. So now you have guys who've learned exclusively in Sinhala and Tamil in a court where everything is in English. And this breaks confidentiality, so I can't say who or specifics, but I know cases where litigators have won because they just knew the language of the court better than the opposing counsel. Brilliant orators.
That's a huge problem because I get a lot of lawyers coming for our classes who either they are Tamil or Sinhala and they are coming to learn how to speak in English better. Because they can speak extremely well in Sinhala or Tamil, but when it comes to English, they get stuck. Because
so I think they are doing exactly what someone should do in their situation. There's no point in sitting and complaining about the system. You're not going to see a system change in your generation. Okay? You need to equip yourself with all the languages. It's like this. It's very difficult for me to get fluent in Tamil. I'm going to concede that. But generally, if you can speak 2 of the 3, if you can speak English and one of the other 2 languages very well, in law, you have a leg up on a lot of other people.
I mean, from the way you described it, there doesn't seem to be a perfect solution to be able to navigate this space well, other than doing self-learning on your own.
Correct.
Right? Because, like you said, if they bring in all 3 languages into the faculty, that gives you a disadvantage when you move up into the higher
Because it's not like
course.
you're going to learn all 3 languages, you're going to
Correct.
pick one stream and pursue that.
Pursue that.
But ideally, you should learn all of it.
So, what made you go into corporate law?
Most of it happens in English.
Most of it happens in English.
Actually, this job also, just like how I got into faculty, was a bit of a stroke of luck. So I did, after I passed out from faculty, I didn't do my bar exam with the rest of my batch because I went straight from A levels to architecture school to law school. I wanted, and you know how I was in school, no, I did everything I possibly could. I wanted a bit of a break. But also, I told you I was football captain. So our inter-uni tournament, my year, we made it to finals for the first time. The finals was Sunday night. The first paper was Monday morning. The finals was in the southeastern province.
Oh my God.
So I went up to my parents and in my first stage, I told my parents, everyone in Columbia Uni is going to somehow pass. Everyone's going to leave with a degree. I want to get colors. So in my first stage, I said, I'm focusing on football basically in uni. And I timed it perfectly. I timed it as soon as I got in. So they also didn't expect me to get in. So at that point, they said okay to anything.
Yeah.
But again, after my finals, I got good, decent results. I told them this. They said, yeah, okay, you also need a break. That's fine, you do that. So I did my attorneys 6 months after the rest of my batch. So after the football tournament, I had a small break. My friends were working. I had nothing to do. And then I got a message on one of our groups saying, through one of our lecturers, a friend of mine had gotten to know that a certain lawyer is looking for a research assistant for a project I can't disclose. And then she was like, do you want to do any of it? I want to send your CVs. I was like, I have nothing to do. I'll apply. So I applied, and this lawyer saw my CV and called me and said, hey, you're from faculty. I was like, yeah. She was like, do you actually want to join the firm I'm at and work through that? It will be easier. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll come in for an interview. Went, I had a real joke of a CV. Most of it was football and dancing also. And actually, this is very good for the podcast.
Yeah.
So I went in for the interview. Okay,
Yeah.
I found out later after I got the job. My seniors absolutely they just did this to humor the lady who wanted the interview for me. They weren't going to give me the job because they saw my CV and they laughed at it.
Yeah.
My senior's wife had said, no, just give him a chance here. And this lady had also been like, okay. Went. And apparently I spoke really well at the interview. And it was despite my CV that I got the job. And I think ever since then, when I worked there, I am definitely, one thing I learned when I got into faculty, like in Peters, like it's easy to be the smartest person in the room. Okay.
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
You know this. You also got 9 A's. How many others got 9 A's?
I don't want to comment on that.
In our school,
but I
people who
get
got
your
like
point,
2-3 A's also get their face on the board.
Yeah.
At like Visa.
I think my age, we had about 13 in total, so no, 14. Yeah.
Others, you take the top Colombo school.
Yeah.
The moment I got into faculty, I realized, shit, okay, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to keep my mouth shut because I'm in a room full of people smarter than me.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should be. If you ever find yourself being the smartest person in the room,
You're in the wrong room.
you're in the wrong room. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Even at work, I am definitely the least, least smartest person there, in my opinion. I learn a lot, but the value I bring there is I'm good with people a little, project management. And I think that people management skill, and that comes from, like I said before, confidence in yourself. And I think a lot of transparency with how you deal with them, and definitely a lot of communication. Like even if we can't get the job done, or there are more often than not things out of our control, It's how you present it to the client. You don't say, we can't do this. we're dead in the water. That's not how we say it. We're doing this. We're working on this. You don't, and you also realize how to manage people. I've realized you don't go to someone and tell them this is the problem. You go to someone and with the possible solutions you are exploring to that problem. Then it's a lot more palatable, the problem itself. Those sort of things you learn with what, like you said, confidence, and well, all my work is in English, with speaking fluently in English. But yeah, that connects to my time after uni.
So now in the current workplace that you're at, you said the reason you got in is because of your communication skills, right? How important is it for anyone that is trying to get into the corporate world, that is trying to get into any field, to be able to speak confidently?
It's like this. I think your CV gets your foot in the door. And from there on, it's how you present yourself and your oratory skills, your people skills, your confidence. I think it's absolutely crucial. Even with my work, I realize a lot of what I learned in faculty and law college doesn't really apply here. It still goes back to everything I learned in Interact and Prefectship that I apply here. Everything that's job specific, you learn while working.
Absolutely.
It's those soft skills that you develop that you bring with you when you come here. And I'm very grateful for having gotten those soft skills.
From the time you were in school, you've always been someone that had to network and that has built a good network up for yourself. They say a good network is your net worth, right? How true is this statement? I can't speak for everyone, but I strongly believe in it, and that's also why I chose not to go abroad for higher studies or work. I wanted to stay here because, like you said, from when I was in school, I started networking. I don't come from a very wealthy family or a very influential family. Yeah.
For me, genuinely, it's my network for me. If I need to get something done, I know a guy, or I know a guy who knows a guy. And wherever I go, I talk to everyone also. Like, it's annoying also sometimes. Just talk to everyone, like even a tuk driver.
Yeah.
Just have a chat with him. I have so many, like, you open my contacts, this guy Uber, this guy Uber, this guy took Maharagama, this guy took Delcar. Just make friends with everyone.
Yeah.
I think that's how Sri Lanka works. It works based on your network.
Who you know.
You know, yeah.
There's a lot of people that are shy to make that initial conversation with somebody. A lot of the time you're in a room, sometimes you know, okay, I have to go and talk to this person. I want to go and talk to this person. But there's that shyness, that nervousness. How do you break out of it and just go and have a conversation?
And again, that it comes back to you first need to be comfortable with you as a person. And you also need to accept the fact that if this person, it can go one of two ways. It can go well, it can go bad. Why is it going to go bad? It's going to go, if you are nice, you're pleasant, and you interact, and they hit you with a brick wall, that's on them, not on you.
So as long as you're trying to be pleasant and...
Exactly. Also, I've been told that I give off a bit of a... I don't come off as very approachable if I'm just like seated somewhere and waiting.
Right. I mean, I would know. I've known you for a long time.
And I think it's nice when someone who doesn't seem objectively approachable actually comes and talks to you. It breaks down a wall. But also, you have to be socially conscious and pragmatic. Not everyone has the luxury of, unfortunately, going and speaking to everyone. I know as a girl, it's very difficult. As you and I can go and talk to anyone at any time, at any place, without being scared. you need to be socially conscious of that also. It's a luxury we have, and I think it's a luxury we should explore. If you have the same luxury, I think you should definitely explore it. Not a lot of people will, well, not all people will always meet you with the same responsiveness, and sometimes people will meet you with the same responsiveness with ulterior motives. I think when you talk to enough people, you will eventually learn how to decipher that. So because I started talking to people when I was very small, but now I've gone through that learning curve. But yeah, I'd say just networking is very, very important.
All right, everyone, just a quick reminder here that if you are someone that is struggling to speak in front of an audience, if you are someone that gets nervous when you see a large group of people, if you don't have the right vocabulary when you have to speak in English, and if you go every time you see a crowd, make sure to sign up to our public speaking classes. We have both online and physical classes. You can choose which one you want to join. But one thing I can guarantee is that if you sign up to our classes, you will be the most confident speaker that you have ever been. You will never say again. You'll speak as confidently as you possibly can, and you will be the best public speaker that you have the potential in yourself to be. So give me a call on the number below, and I will help you become a great public speaker. Let's talk a bit about your journey in fitness, right? You said it was during your A-level last year that you really got into gymming and building out the physique. How have you stayed consistent with it? Because I remember when we first started this conversation, we mentioned you were a bit chubby, then you got really thin at one point, I remember. And then you started putting on, I believe, from the time you started gymming. Have you stayed consistent since then, or have there been instances where you fell out?
Like, this is plywood, so it's not going to do anything, but like touch wood. Touch wood. So far, I haven't.
You haven't fallen
off.
Nice.
No.
So it's food, consistent gymming. Is that correct?
Yes. So, okay. For me, the nutrition side of it, again, comes easy for a couple of reasons. One is I naturally have a lot of dietary restrictions.
Okay.
I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, so a lot of like the stuff that puts on the calories, I can't eat. But I didn't realize I was lactose intolerant till like COVID. Like every day after football practice.
During prefectship,
Masha, every day after football practice, malu paanga kare kiri packet ekak denawa. I eat a whole day's going. My stomach is hurting.
Oh, those kiri packets used to.
Yeah,
pack it
it's
in
so
one
nice.
yeah.
No, like without the straw, when you drink it straight out of the packet, it's so nice. But yeah.
The funny story there. So when I was doing rugby match duty for the first time, my head, not rugby match, sports meet for the first time when I was a steward, whoever the leader or whatever was Pramukh. So they had given us explicit instructions. We can't have water, we can't eat, we can't do anything. So the first thing this bugger said to me was, here, if you want milk packets, let me know. And the worst part is, he was like, here, but you can't get caught. So you have to drink it really fast. So we had to hold it, just squeeze the whole thing in and throw it away. It was a really fun time.
Sounds just like Prabhu. Now they'll understand what you meant by sometimes you all got in trouble also because of how we were.
Yes. That was, yeah, because your batch, the top guys were not very good with me at all. To be fair, I gave them a lot of trouble. I was not the most obedient.
I think our house se gave
Yeah, so you know Abhishek.
Yeah.
The reason he didn't get house captain, or one of the reasons he didn't get house captain, is because he was really close to me.
Really?
And the moment they asked him who he would appoint as deputy, he had mentioned my name.
Yeah. Who was house captain in the end?
You know who the house captain? So you're saying in my batch?
Yeah.
It was Mahanama.
Ah.
He was solid.
Yeah,
He was the best.
No, but he worked a lot during sports meet time. Also,
He
I
was
remember.
really
Yeah, he was very involved.
But Abhishek was definitely
Mahanama was another very good example of networking.
Oh,
he
yes.
was going to talk to anyone. He would talk to a wall, macha.
So now, and I had him on the podcast.
He was MC, no?
He's an MC.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
and
yeah.
That's a beautiful story because he comes from a completely single
I remember. I
background.
was very surprised to see.
And now he's an English compier.
It's great. And he has so much confidence.
He's a personality.
Yeah.
He's a personality.
He started off making videos for his bank.
Yes.
I followed his
The
journey
thing
on
is,
social
from
media.
that time, he was a fun guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He was also very headstrong, very wanted his own way. And I think when he went into the bank, he really blossomed there.
Also,
Now
I think
he's-
because he had that English background to a certain extent, no, at the bank.
True, but the thing is that English speaking ability was something he built out for himself. That's what he even said on the podcast, that it's not something he ever got from home
That's true.
or
That's
got
true.
from anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something he, from his own will, built out for himself. Fantastic guy.
Yeah, of
Fantastic
course,
guy.
of course. I remember. Yeah, yeah.
So that was a nice time, I think.
I completely forgot the question.
It was about nutrition.
Nutrition, yes. So yeah, I have dietary restrictions. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of sweets. And I don't drink like fizzy drinks and stuff. Apart from, I don't eat beef for religious reasons. My parents made a vow when I was small. So generally what I eat is just chicken, rice, potato because I like that. And I have this thing where I don't, now this is why it's easy for me. I don't eat for taste. I don't like, it's not something I do for enjoyment. Like if there's tasty food, I'll eat it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
I eat because I have to eat,
yeah,
but I eat a lot.
yeah.
I eat a lot of good things. So nutrition side was always, I've never dieted as such. I did, to get from fat to really skinny, I dieted the wrong way. I just didn't eat. Because you get that traditional Sri Lankan values where parents are like, puta kanno, but flip side is, why you fat, why you fat, why you fat. So at home I had to eat, so in school I would skip meals. I had really bad gastritis also during that time. That was, again, a learning curve. Fitness-wise, the thing is, I think a mistake a lot of people do is they look for motivation to work out. For me, it has never been about motivation. Discipline has been something that's been instilled in me from a very young age, and it has been about discipline. And I know if I can work out today and I don't, it's a slippery slope from there. But definitely, it gets boring. Like just going to the gym and lifting got boring for me. So I think I started good. Now I've been at this gym for 11 years. I started going to the gym in 2015. There have been times where I've trained with people like Prashant. I train with Prashant, really enjoy training with him. I'm also fussy about who I train with. Now, for the last 3-4 years, I've trained alone by myself. I make my own programming. And I think that's another very important thing because I know what works for my body. So I program it in a way where I enjoy the workouts I do and it hits muscles that I need hit. And it's exercises I have access to. I've also not just done your traditional gymming. During COVID, I pivoted and did calisthenics at home. I bought those gymnastic rings, fixed a pull-up bar, got a bench, small weights. For 1.5-2 years, I trained at home. Still trained. Got a skipping rope, did cardio at home like that. I'm a big advocate of getting your steps in. I've done an average of 10,000 steps per year, I think for the last 5 years.
Per day.
The average, so it's not like I have to do 10,000 every day. It's my average needs to be 10,000 at least.
Oh, okay.
Because I know there are days where I can't. Now like this week, because of last week before last, I averaged 16,000 steps a day. Last week, other than yesterday, I didn't get more than 8,000 steps on a single day because of my injury.
Right.
Now, it's very easy from there to be like, okay, now I've fallen off the wagon, I'm not going to do this anymore. But no. Yesterday I could walk a little, I got 12,000 steps. I'm around 9,000. I know by the end of the month, this month is also going to average 10,000 some. I'm going to fix this. You need to have that, like, unanduwa tiyenna one. So now today, I know it delayed the podcast a little, but I want to go and get this sorted. I went on Wednesday, Western medicine, didn't work. Today I did Ayurvedic. Wednesday again I had to go and do. By this weekend, I want to be back to where I was. So gymming got boring, calisthenics got boring. Then I started running because what happened was I played sports. After I left school, I played sports a lot. And I realized like I was in the best shape of my life when I was playing sports. Then 2024, April-ish, I was done with all forms of institutional studying. So that's where all my sports stopped. Like I remember that I had practice every day for like 3-4 months. I loved
And it's
it.
so easy to stay in shape when you're.
And you can eat like a dog and like
For
where?
me, it stopped after school because we used to play, we used to cut classes and play
Yeah, and
all
you
the
play
time.
badminton?
I played badminton after, so like that's about a good 5 hours of
Yeah.
active sports.
And you're used to eating so much also. Yeah, so I was like, okay, මේක හරියන්නේ නැහැ. I need to do something. Um, so I started running. I ran one day from my place to my friend's house just on Saturday morning. He said, "කවුරු ගෙදර නැහැ, වරින් FIFA පාරක් ගහන්න." So I went, and it was a very stop-start run. It was about a 7K run. I had run like 500 meters walk. It was terrible. But I was like, no, I like this. I'm going to like I started playing football actually in grade 7. Okay, when Milroy was our master in charge. I stopped football about 2-3 months later because we had to run 2 rounds around the ground as warm up. I went and told Amma, can you go and tell coach that I don't have to run because I'm the goalkeeper. She said, no, I can't do that. If you can't go, don't go. So I didn't go. And now to think like I'm running half marathons. So this happened. So then 2024 last bit I ran. It was fun. 2025 started. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep running, but like I can't just run for no reason. I'm going to set myself a goal. I was like, okay, I'm going to run 1,000 kilometers this year. I'm going to track it. I'm going to do it. I know monsoon season comes. I need to compensate for that when I can run on the treadmill, do all of that, buy a pair of shoes, put some money down. Whatever you're doing, when you commit, I think, put some money down. Then you hold yourself accountable. Even when you're at the gym, I think a lot of people who start off, it's important to get a trainer and a gym membership because you're putting money down. Then you feel like you have to do it. If it's just you're just lifting a few weights at home, you get lazy. No need to do. Here you put money, so you need to get your return. I put money down, started running, and I ran my second half marathon in December last year, December 14th, I think. And with that half marathon itself, I passed 1,000 kilometers last year. Now this year, I'm focusing on speed, increasing my timings. Last year it took about 2 hours to finish a half marathon. This year I want to do sub 2. And I found that very fun, very interesting. So like that, I've managed to keep on keeping it interesting. But even when the interest goes away, there are days I'm not motivated at all. Then the discipline kicks in.
You go and do it anyway.
You have to do it. I think that applies to whatever you do. Even if your goal is to learn English, put some money down, pay for a course. Then you hold yourself accountable to it and have that discipline. Okay, your goal might change. Or sometimes you might not have a goal. Find a goal. Fair enough, it's easier to stay disciplined and motivated when you have a goal. I think, like you said, that system you have where your students come on the podcast, you're giving them a goal. That's great. For them to come up here and speak, that's a good enough of a goal and work towards that. For me also now, I have a half marathon on the 26th. For my birthday, I'm running a half marathon. It coincidentally fell on the same day. I have a timing I want for that. So that's why, otherwise I'll just chill and let this heal on its own, all of that. All of last year, I didn't get a single tattoo because when you get a tattoo, you can't sweat for a period of time. I couldn't stop running for like 10 days, so I didn't get a tattoo. I can easily just be like, okay, I'm just going to not run, I'll get a tattoo, chill a bit, gym a little extra. No, I want to fix this because I have that goal on the 26th. I want to do a sub 2 half marathon.
Nice. Talk to me a bit about dancing, because from the time that I knew you in school, I mean, you had 2 left feet. But then now you're taking part in competitions, you're winning competitions. It's been a complete 360. How did this start? Why did it start?
Well, actually, it was like you said. You remember during Joseph, I was told that I have 2 left feet. That was very. You can take it one of 2 ways. You can let it push you down, or you can use it to fuel you. I'm not going to say that cliche where I use that to this thing. That's actually not at all what happened. I completely forgot that happened also. What happened was when we were doing Interhouse, they didn't have people to dance. And like Joshua was like, here, can you come and just like do this? I, for some reason, like picked up, like I remembered the steps. And again, like I pivoted to what works well for me. I was good with lifts. So I have a few lifts in that. He gave me those lifts to do, and I enjoyed that. And then he was like, like Dada's class is there, why don't you come? Again, nikang inna bane. So I'm out of school,
Yeah.
what else to do? I said, okay, yeah, I
Let
have,
me dance.
yeah, I'll go learn this. I was like, it's like, my thing is, in life,
Yeah,
life is about experiences.
absolutely.
You need to experience the good and the bad also. Like that whole passenger song, you only miss the sun when it starts to snow.
Yeah.
You don't know happiness until you've known sadness also. Experience everything, try everything. Also for life, try and get as many tools as you can. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have.
Absolutely.
So dancing also, at some point it will come in useful. Why not? So I went for social dance classes.
Yeah.
And then about 2 weeks into me coming for dance, Josh was like, here, there's a dance comp happening, there's a girl without a partner, do you want to dance? I said, yeah, okay, why not? Went for like 2 practices and comp, and like, I was terrible at the comp, but that confidence I was told was there. I didn't know that this is not normal. While I was dancing, I was singing song, they were playing also. And I had a good time. I was like, my footwork was terrible, but I had a good time. I was happy. I didn't dance with that girl again. She was a brilliant dancer. After that, switched partners, then actually practiced, and then actually won some competitions. I think with practice, you can do anything. If you genuinely work for it. I think this is a very good example of that. Yeah, like you said, 2 left feet. I practiced and I won. I stopped after that for a long time. So I had to start again from scratch. But it's obviously easier the second time around. Yeah.
It was obviously important to you when you entered theatre, right? Because I think you got a couple of roles that you had to dance in.
Well, with theatre, there's 3 things you need to have. You need to be able to act, sing, dance. Unfortunately, in Sri Lanka, and this might rage bait a lot of people, but with musicals in Sri Lanka, they don't really care about the acting or the dancing anymore. It's like a choir show. Okay? Beautiful singing, but that's all.
Yeah.
So if you can actually dance a little, it's great for you. Now, I can't sing to save my life, you know this. Okay? Can act.
Yeah.
Can dance a little also.
Yeah.
So I got a couple of roles because I can dance. If you have all 3, you're absolute gem in Sri Lankan theatre. But it's also nice to be able to dance even when you go out or something. That also adds to that confidence. Like you said, actually like both of us said, I think, if you're not happy with something about yourself, work on it. Like you said, I had 2 left feet. I didn't have the confidence to go forward in musicals because of that. So learn to dance. So if you are not confident with your English, learn English.
When we talk about theatre as well, I mean, when I first came in, I think you weren't the best actor, right? And I think you started to do well maybe once you completed your O-levels, you started heading into your A-level years. And from being someone that couldn't do it well, you're, I think, one of the only award winners in the Shakespeare drama competition at St. Peter's College.
We're telling that story.
It makes me look bad, but why not?
You have to tell how I got the role. From whom?
Go ahead, gloat. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
It's your story.
Yeah, because you weren't there. That's why this happened.
One day. One practice.
No, so from when I started acting, I didn't get, I think, okay, again, this is going to rage bait a lot of people. Not a lot of people, a few specific people. There's a bias in casting. I was going to say that.
I don't usually cut and put clips, but I think this clip is worth putting.
I think so, yeah. This is a go.
Share it around all our circles. We'll get a call.
And a letter. So there's a bias in casting. And now I need to say this story in a way where I don't sound bitter. But I also just said I will say what I truly want to say.
Say it, yes.
So I think I was overlooked a couple of times. I didn't get the opportunity. And the opportunity unfortunately came to me at your shortcoming.
2016.
So the story is, I started acting in 2011, actually. I was in grade 7 or 8. We were doing one of those something based in Egypt, I can't remember exactly what, because I came for practice, and then suddenly one day they told us, don't come for practice anymore. We are not doing shit.
Julius Caesar, I think.
Was it?
Probably.
No, Julius Caesar is what we did then, no? This was
2011
Antony and Cleopatra.
Antony and Cleopatra.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And they told us, don't come, we're not doing shakes. And then about a month later, one day in school, in the hall, they're getting ready for makeup. So it turns out we are doing shakes. They just decided to cut out the small ones.
Yeah.
Devin and I were the only small ones, so we got cut out. Devin got angry with them. Next year, I came back. And this time I brought Demi with me. Demi is a brilliant actor. Brilliant. He was cast as Juliet. We did Romeo and Juliet. He did a brilliant job. Our cast wasn't great. None of us could act, I think, other than Demi and a couple of others. And like, that was the first time I went for semis and like heard us not getting in. And Javin Nayyab, just before that, we were in the balcony, and Javin Nayyab was like, "Kawrut adanne." It's like, who is going to cry, bro? And they didn't say us, and bro, tears came.
As Andrew Tate says, the tears just rolled down, but I wasn't crying.
I was crying. Yeah, so that's what lit this fire in all of us. And I think that it's very important that someone who wins their first time is never going to achieve much. We lost, and that a lot of us took it well. So next year we came back and we did Merchant of Venice.
Yeah.
That year Devin also came back, and then it's a good cast. Rehan, who played Richard D'Souza, was in the cast. Kavish wasn't there. Rehan, Eshan and them were there.
Charit, that was Charit.
Yes,
and
Charit
then
last
Charit
year.
There were so many muck-ups in that play though.
But I think we...
You remember we had that Ruggerite, Praveen, who lifted and slammed.
Bro, he's from our house, bro.
I know.
Yeah, super guy. So, Devin and Demi both acted. I think one of the two of them got nominated also that year.
Probably.
Yeah, so again, I was just like a non-speaking role. Then comes my O-level year, where we didn't act. You all did the thing with the witches. Hamlet. Macbeth. You all did Macbeth. Came to watch. Very good. Then you got nominated. You and Ayub.
Me and Dirk.
You and Dirk got
And Dylan.
Walker.
Yeah, all three of
Three
us
witches
got
got nominated. So then now we've gotten the ball rolling. And now I think at this point, now come 2015, we have about 4 actors who've been nominated.
Yeah.
We have 5. We had Devin, Demi, and the 3 of y'all. The Shylock and Portia both got nominated, if I'm not mistaken. When we did Merchant of Venice.
I think so. So the thing is, that was our O-level year. So if you remember, none of my batch came that year.
You came.
And the reason I got to come is because I was coming for all the practices. But I wasn't allowed to be on the cast. I used to just come and watch.
I completely forgot this.
And then I got a call.
But Abhishek was also there.
No, nobody was there. Not a single.
2015.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I got a call 1.5 or 2 weeks before the actual semi-finals.
Okay.
And I was told, okay, there are 2 roles that are not doing that great. Why don't you come and select one, since you've been coming anyway. And that's how I got plugged into that year.
So this was 2015.
Yeah.
And then for the first time since in like 8 years or something, I think we got into finals.
Yeah. First time in 9 years. Yeah.
9 years, 9 years, 9 years.
Yeah,
Yes. 2006 was the last. Yes.
Yeah.
After 9 years, we got into finals. We came third.
Yeah.
We didn't win any personal awards that year. We won stagecraft
I think so.
because we did that whole Star Wars
Yes,
thing.
yes, yes.
And like the directors admitted, like they used a lot of gimmick to sort of cover up the lack of acting. But finals was great. And then the reason I think we had such a long period of not getting into finals is because 2010, when they did Christmas Carol, they didn't do shakes, and that broke that continuity. And that's why I say it's a slippery slope from there. It was hard to rebuild. Now suddenly we come into the finals. Again, next year they don't want to do shakes. Like it didn't make sense to me. They want to do a public production.
Yeah.
We are all here for shakes. The public production will benefit a handful of people.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, winning shakes is what all of us want, and they almost took that away from us.
Yeah.
I wasn't like at that point. I think at that point I started to get a little unhappy with being overlooked, because by that point, like the drama had also started, and
Yeah.
like don't be
I think it started early on for you guys.
it started with Merchant of Venice for us, but like
Yeah.
okay, completely be unbiased. You know how I was at drama.
Yeah.
Aava වැඩේ කරා ගියා.
Yeah,
Like I didn't get involved in that. I kept an arm's distance from everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was annoying me that like personal things were getting in the way of the objective. But like we're sportsmen, we're team players. You understand the value of that. So KM did. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm not getting involved in this musical. I can't sing, I can't dance. I'm just here to act. No. And then, so that was the year we were the top board also. We had that issue where we had to be the top board for 2 years because the batch above wasn't there. No? So Demi was president, I was secretary, Devin was vice president. So production's a big thing, and this is what we practiced for a year.
Yeah,
we started
yeah.
in Feb of the year before.
2016, and then we ended
Production
in
was in
2017 January.
yeah. So then Demi said, okay, you come and like, can you like manage the admin side of things? I was like, okay, I'll come because play music and all of that. You remember my laptop, my Mac with all the stickers?
Yes.
So came and started doing all of that, and then realized, okay, like there are ensemble plugins. You don't need a great actor, you just need someone with half a brain.
Yeah.
So then Jan was like, Devinda, come into these roles. So I ended up being in like, I think every scene as a background character.
Yeah.
And then
You were one of the brothers though.
no, so eventually after that I got promoted to one of the brothers. Yeah.
After your victory or?
No. Before. And
But I
then
remember distinctly you being one of the brothers.
yeah. And then I think the other old boys and I got along well.
Yeah.
And they saw that dynamic which they wanted with the brothers. And that also comes again with networking. කොහේ ගියත් කතා කරන මිනිස්සුන්ට. And so our practices were pretty hectic. Our practices would go from like 4 to like 10, 11 in the night.
Yeah, and then Shakes practice used to start after that.
So they asked us. They
Yeah.
said, okay, if you're doing shakes, they didn't decide till like about 3 weeks before the competition, no?
And,
3-4 weeks.
No, we had about a good 1.5 months of practices because I remember there was a build up to it, and then I remember the last 2 weeks got hectic.
Yeah.
Because we used to stay over at school, you remember all those Red Bull cans.
Yes. So then they decided with a small cast, it's like
Yeah.
10 or 12 of
Yeah,
us, we'll do shakes, just the seniors, but we can't let it affect Joseph practice. We have to do that practice fully. After that, we will work on this. And again, I was given a bit of a joke role. That guy who points at the clouds or something. And Devin and Demi played the two leads. You all were playing like supporting characters. And then I felt sick. And I missed a few practices. And then there was a reading at the director's house. And I needed to like catch up to know what has gone on. So Devin and Demi were there. I went just to like see what's going on, and your character had lines in that scene.
And I wasn't there.
You weren't there. So like, they in the read for the character. I read for the character. The first time that bug has heard me say lines. Out of about 5 or 6 years of acting.
Yeah.
And then that day he wanted to try some different things with David and Demi.
Yeah.
And so I adapted accordingly. And so I also did it different to what you were doing. and like what he wanted was also different to what we had done all the time. And that day something clicked, and then
The rest is history.
the rest is the trophy. The trophy. All the trophies he won that year, except best actor.
But that was a fantastic year. I think that was a year that the cast really got together. And I remember, like, without any directors, without anyone involved, we used to sit down and do a lot of analyzing of the play. We used to analyze our characters. And I think we felt like we had to win that year.
And then everything went to shit after that.
Yeah, bro, 2017
So it was terrible. Like there was no reason why we shouldn't have won in 17. We had.
Bro, I mean, I'll be honest with you. That year, myself, Dion, we did not want to get into a final. We came into that, I mean, not that we came into that year thinking, but during those last 2 weeks, both of us decided like, we don't want to get into a final.
Just want to get it over with.
Just had to end. Well, that year was a terrible, terrible year.
For 1 year, I leave you all alone and go to do A-levels, and I come back to this absolute mess, bro. I got 2 weeks to study and come. What is going on here?
That was a horrible year, bro. Horrible year. And then 2018, we picked back up.
I wasn't there.
2018, we picked back up. And so that's because there was a director change. Director change. But
2018 again, finals.
2018 again, we were second runners up, third. So that was a fantastic year. But 2016, the year you won Best Supporting Actor, was the year we won the Shakespeare Drama Competition, and I think that was
convincingly.
Convincingly.
Yeah.
Because there was a foreign judge also that
Foreign
year.
judge from the Shakespeare.
And you
Company.
remember the markup in the results?
Yeah.
That was
the judge realized, he's like, no, that is not, no, like they were good.
Proper Steve Harvey moment, bro. And the worst part is, so there was this one school, I don't want to mention it. The school,
I don't want to mention the boy.
So the president of that club, he ran up because they were awarded 4th initially. And then they said there was a mistake in the results. He thought that it was read the other way around. He thought it was 1st. So he ran up. Again, they were announced 4th.
Again, before he was back to his class, he had to go back up.
That was hilarious. What skills do you think theatre taught you that helped you move on when it came to your corporate career?
And theatre really helped. Whatever little bit of embarrassment, shyness I had went away. And theatre taught me how to read people. And how to navigate relationships. It's very weird, and it's not in the way someone would think. Because I told you I did public productions. I don't enjoy doing public productions. I don't like theatre. I liked Shakes and the competitiveness of it. And another thing I really liked about Shakes was how you analyze a script. There were few public productions I was involved in that had like nice scripts, but a lot of musicals focus on the theatrics of it. There's no depth to the script. Shakespeare was a brilliant analyst of people, and the nuances with which he wrote. You can do the same Shakespeare play 3-4 years in a row, and the 4th year you'll still realize things. You'll realize new things. And my favorite sessions used to be when we sit and break down a script. You remember on stage, patta rasne, no fans, nothing, stage lights on, it's hot, and we're sitting and discussing. It's really nice though.
Yeah.
That helped me understand people. Shakespeare helped me understand people.
1 second. Mic check. Yeah.
Going okay?
Fantastic. How do you feel?
I know, good. I'm just hoping I hadn't said anything about work that's a conflict of interest.
I'll send it to you once. Because the thing is, a lot of people listen to it for the English.
Okay.
They want, because there are few Sri Lankan podcasts, but it's very limited. So there's definitely no one who does really long form content.
So you captured a bit of a niche. That's interesting.
So our watch hours are really good.
Okay.
We get like, depends
So
on the video.
you're close to being able to monetize it.
I earn
Are you-
about 34K
really?
from it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So most of the studio cost I can cover through, I mean, it's not a lot, it's about 30K a
So
month.
it's like it covers your advertising budget basically.
More or less, yeah. Well, what? Hurry? Yeah, okay. You can continue from where you stopped
Where were
with
we?
regards to how theatre has helped you in your...
Yes. So Shakespeare has helped me read people. I think that's a very important thing. And I think there's less and less of that happening now with a lot of work becoming virtual. I value in-person meet. I hate phone calls. Hate phone calls. I'd much rather just go meet a person and speak because you learn to pick up on non-verbal cues. And even so, in faculty, I did this thing called a moot, which is, it's like debate. Okay, it's actually not like debating. A lot of people misunderstand it. It's a simulation court trial in whatever tribunal that respective field of law is in. So I did the WTO moot, which is world trade. So it's trade law. And this is a fun story that you definitely don't know, so it never would have come up unless I brought it up. My best friend from uni is a guy called Avishka. He did it the batch. So this is again because during COVID time, Avishka had signed up for this already. He did it, and they were taking applications for next year. Now he had gotten through regionals. They were practicing for the global rounds. He was like, "Why don't you apply?" I was like, "Yeah, what else to do? I like competition." I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Because no football also, no. Applied, got in. A few days after I got selected, they won the whole thing. Sri Lanka won the international moot.
Damn.
So the pressure on us, bro, to follow. But their whole thing happened online.
Yeah.
And this other girl who's a very good friend of ours, she won Best Speaker also. So like Sri Lanka's on the map for this. So a lot of pressure on us. We start working. We had like a lot of turbulence starting off, getting things in order and everything. I was also like, I hate reading. Okay, there's a lot of reading in law school. Okay, I wasn't too great with all of that, but I can speak. So I ended up being the third speaker. Basically, my job is to listen to what everyone else says. I don't need to research that much. This is what I took from the brief. I don't need to read a lot. I don't need to research a lot. I listen to what the other people say. I respond to that.
Yeah.
Just be witty and bit of flair. So I can do that. Started doing that, and then eventually, like, this is also about a year of prep. Got close, and this is Aragalaya time. We had a regional round. So regional rounds is like East Asia is separate, rest of Asia. So India, us, all the South Asian countries. Atica. You have to get into the top 3 or top 2 from your region to make it to the global rounds. So we had ours was virtual. It was at Taj. So we went to Taj. So we are at Taj while Aragalaya is fully happening on Gaul Road. And so we did our global rounds. And so Avishka's team came third in the region and won globals. We came runners up in the region. So we also made it to globals. And then by then, like, COVID was done, we actually got to fly to Switzerland for our global rounds.
Damn.
Yeah. And that was a really, really fun experience, very unique experience also. And just before we flew out, one of the girls in the team who did a massive role for the team, she got dengue and she couldn't fly. So that was a real setback for us. So I had to cover up her part also. The way I remember, I covered up her part also. We did a bit of jugglery at the end and managed to make it work. But when we went there for the moot, I know this other girl also who did really well, she would also, to a certain extent, do what I'm going to say. But we have both councils, both teams, and you get the panel. I would read the non-verbal cues of the panel to see how they respond to what I am saying. If this is an argument that they like, I will dwell more on that. If it's not, I'll get my point out, move on to the next one. If they are a panel that likes the wittiness and the jokes, I'll do more of that. If they respond better to the facts, I'll do more of that. And that's not something we were ever taught. We had a local coach, we had a local team, we had an international coach. Once we got there, we had more advisors. And then we got into semis, no, we got into quarters. Yeah, we broke, then some round, then quarters. We went pretty far in the global rounds also. So the further we went, the more teams got eliminated. Their coaches also would come and support us because our coach had a good relationship with all of them. Did a lot of networking there also. To this day, I stay in touch with some of the people I met there. One of them came down to Sri Lanka recently also, and we met up. And so that whole reading nonverbal cues really went a long way. And this has nothing to do with any of this, but a really fun thing was at the end, there's supposed to be like this, well, we didn't make it to semis and final. Can't remember whether we made it to semis. Anyway, last day we didn't move. And so like we wanted to do something before we flew out. So me, this girl from Switzerland, no, this girl from Germany, and this boy from Mexico. We got together, we were like, hey, like there's a club here, shall we like organize something for everyone? Even the organizers of the moot came for like this party we threw at the club. Like, it was really nice. This is something that definitely speaking English helped a lot. They were very surprised when we went and spoke at how fluent Sri Lankans were in English because English is not a first language for them also. But we managed to speak English better than some of them. They said, your English is so good, like how did you manage? Like we didn't think any.
Absence of an accent is also a...
That is, and this was, Mashang, really funny because I was at our hotel, I was in the lobby studying, on CNN, they are showing Sri Lanka.
No way.
And the Aragalaya. Yeah. That was such a fun experience. But that, and one of my friends, the girl who won Best Speaker the year before, she stayed back in Switzerland because she got a scholarship there, and she said people she met there still remembers us for, not for how far we went to the tournament, but for the way we like hung out with everyone. And
Absolutely.
That's something I wouldn't have had the confidence to do if I didn't have this English background.
Absolutely. All right, Devinda, it's been a fantastic conversation having this podcast together with you today. Before we wrap things up, what final message would you like to leave with the audience, keeping in mind the audience that is watching us today?
I think based on the conversation, I'm not going to say something completely alien to what we've said so far. I think the main thing is, first thing is, you have to be comfortable with who you are, and it's okay to have parts of yourself that you don't like, but what's not okay is not doing anything about it. If you think you're lacking somewhere and you have access to what you need to fix it, do it. And that will sort out a lot of issues for you. Because end of the day, when you scrap everything down, all you have is you, so make yourself as strong as possible.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Devinda, for being with us here today. Alright guys, so that's a wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like our page, share this video with a friend, and let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And most importantly, till our next video, keep practicing.